Former Chief Medical Officer Dr. Patrick Martin is dismissing some of the fears and concerns persons may have about the COVID-19 vaccine. Some are concerned about the health risks of taking the vaccines because of the time it took to have it developed. But Dr. Martin said there is no reason to fear.
The scientific rigor with which vaccines are developed, that's not to say that there aren't minor reactions, but in the main, the benefits far outweigh the risk. And already, close to 60 million vaccine doses have been administered in over 50 countries, and we are beginning to see plateauing of the various curves looking at daily cases, curves looking at daily deaths, and curves looking at burdens faced by hospitals.
Some question the logic of taking the vaccine if it will not prevent the contraction of the virus or preventing persons with the virus from passing it on to others. Dr. Martin explains that the vaccine will minimize the health impact of the coronavirus if contracted.
So the vaccines are primarily protective in terms of stimulating the immune system to kill the virus so that the person does not become sick. A vaccine is not a barrier. A vaccine is not a mask or a condom. So yes, virus can still get into the body. It's what the body does with it. It's the main point. Having said that, I just quoted you one study so far from Israel showing persons 60 years and over who have been fully vaccinated, who have shown less symptoms, 33% less symptoms, and have also shown that they're not contracting the virus.
The former CMO believes the fear most people have of the vaccine is due to fear-mongering by some political and religious leaders.
Yes, there are persons who will not take it, and some persons who are waiting to see, but there are other persons who put their hand up to be part of the trials. God bless them. And there are persons who are standing in lines, waiting in long lines in the various countries in cars to get their vaccine. So they are convinced. So, in time. The part about rushed. The technology used by Pfizer, BioNTech, and Moderna was not rushed. This technology has been in the works for several years. People have been working on this kind of technology. Once the virus sequence was released by the Chinese authorities in mid-January, they were able then to get a move on. So the technology used, the messenger RNA technology, is a fairly new one. You could call it a 5th generation one, which is fairly easy or quick to roll out compared to some of the other technologies which take a longer time.
The first coronavirus vaccine developed by pharmaceutical company Pfizer was administered in the UK in December 2020. St. Kitts and Nevis, like most Caribbean countries, has signed on to the COVAX facility, a global initiative that brings together governments and manufacturers to ensure eventual COVID-19 vaccines reach those in greatest need, whoever they are and wherever they live. Andre Huey, SKN Newsline.
The cable company of St. Kitts launched its island-wide community center-free Wi-Fi service in a partnership with the government of St. Kitts and Nevis on the 22nd of January 2021. Delivering the featured launch address, ICT Minister Akila Byron Nisbet said the Wi-Fi project is not just about access. She emphasized the opportunity provided for residents to be more creative and business-oriented by utilizing the free community center's Wi-Fi service.
The point isn't just to have access to the internet. The point is to begin to stimulate the communities to see the possibilities associated with access. This level of access can see our community centers transform into a resource that allows for programs geared towards business development, education assistance through after-school programs, a meeting venue for small businesses, a place for virtual presentations or meetings. This type of access in our community centers have the potential to transform our community centers into mini innovation hubs, a place where we can see the emergence of new tech businesses or any type of business for that matter.
The cable's Chief Executive Officer, Patricia Walters, said the cable was providing a quality service in the free Wi-Fi and the entire project could be completed in short order.
Within the next 2 months, we will be rolling out to McKnight, Victoria Road, East Bastille, St. Peter's, Connery, Keys, Keon, Lodge, Tabernacle, St. Paul's, Sandy Point, Fig Tree, Halfway Tree, Trinity, Challengers, 16 community centres.
An appeal was also issued to the business community to assist with furnishing the community centres with computers, tables and chairs. Glenn Barrett, Sknnewsline.
Prime Minister Dr. Timothy Harris has joined other Caribbean and world leaders in extending congratulations to President Joseph Biden and Vice President Kamala Harris, who were sworn in as the 46th President and Vice President of the United States of America on Wednesday. President Biden and his running mate Kamala Harris won the U.S. presidential election on November 3, 2020. In a congratulatory letter to President Biden, Prime Minister Harris said, quote, "As you accept the mantle afforded to you as the 46th President of the United States of America, allow me to reaffirm the commitment of the government of St. Kitts and Nevis to continue the long-standing mutual relationship that exists between the Federation and the USA, one that was built on mutual respect and support," end quote. Prime Minister Harris added that he expects the continued partnership with St. Kitts and Nevis and the U.S. to continue and flourish under Biden's presidency. The Federation of St. Kitts and Nevis and the United States of America have been diplomatic allies since 1983. I'm Andre Huey for Sknnewsline. The Emergence and Affirmation Summit, a motivational summit that will inspire you to greatness, presented by Vikish Pickering of V Creation, Sunday, January 31st at 3 p.m. at the Kuna Caribbean Conference Center. All attendees will receive affirmations and exercises for the next month that ends with a follow-up. Tickets $100. Dress code fierce and fabulous. For more information, call 765-6798 or visit www.vcreation-inspire.com. It's the Emergence and Affirmation Summit, January 31st at 3 p.m. at the Kuna Caribbean Conference Center. Come and unleash with Vikish.
I feel good.
Come to Vibes Beach Bar and Grill at the Frigate Bay Strip, your place for the best selection of local dishes. Join us for lunch. Mahi-mahi, barbecue ribs, fresh caught snapper, salmon, lobster, and our world-famous Vibes wings at economically sound prices. Dinner is served from the deck or the golden sands of the Frigate Bay Beach. Join us for birthdays, business meetings, or just for fun in a family-friendly environment. Open daily from 11 a.m. Vibes Beach Bar and Grill. Great food, hospitality, entertainment, and good vibes. Call 465-8423 for reservations and inquiries.
I feel good.
Skillex Interactive Voice Response System, a new 24-hour automated call-in service. Access it now at 465-2000 to report faults, receive bill balances, and for the first time ever, you can now make bill payments over the phone 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. Access it now by calling 465-2000.
Caribana on Liverpool Row is your anything you want store in St. Kitts. They have a wide variety of just about everything. Ladies and men's clothing, shoes, children's clothing, toys, housewares of all kinds, small appliances like clothes heaters, microwaves, electric kettles and more, cosmetics, perfumes, cosmetic jewelry and much, much more. Their prices are unbeatable and customer service is second to none. Shop at Caribana on Liverpool Row Bastair. Call 465 1745. At Carabana, find value supplies at great prices.
The Caribbean region has recorded its second case of the aggressive and fast-spreading COVID-19 variant detected in England. That case was found in the Trinidad and Republic of Trinidad and Tobago. The first case was found in Jamaica. Public Health Minister Dr. Frank Anthony, during his daily COVID-19 update, said several samples were sent to the Caribbean Public Health Agency, CARPHA, for testing.
And I suspect once we start doing more genetic sequencing, that we'll probably find similar cases in other countries. We have sent some samples to CARPHA during this week, and we'll await the results from them. Okay. These things take some time to do and interpret, so we'll await the results from them.
Health authorities have been urging Guyanese to adhere to the COVID-19 measures in place to stay healthy. Further, in neighboring Brazil, where more than 200 persons have lost their lives to the disease, a new strain was detected. This has seen the government stepping up its monitoring of the borders. Since the detection of the new strain, England has temporarily banned travel from Brazil and several other South American countries, Guyana included, which have strong travel connections to Brazil. Globally, more than 2 million persons have lost their lives to the disease, which was first detected in 2019.
Vendors in the Castries market have registered mixed reactions with the announcements by authorities of mitigation measures as part of efforts to curb the spread of COVID-19. This will include mandatory rotation of vendors. One Castries market vendor paints a grim picture for produce vendors whose fate on the issue of rotation seems sealed.
Something already so slow for every day, for 2 days or 3 days. Because they have days you will stay 2 days at your home. But if they have a holidays now, what are you going to do? And they don't want nobody to go on the road and sell. The market is slow.
A press release from the Castries City Council on temporary adjustments to mitigate the spread of COVID-19 reads: 1. No produce vending would be allowed outside the market. 2. In order to facilitate social distancing protocols, a system of market vendor rotation would be enforced at the Castries Provisions Market. 3. Farmers vending from their vehicles would be accommodated at the old fire station site. Social distancing and sanitizing protocols would be enforced. 4. Suspension of the Saturday flea market until further notice. 5. No vending of produce will be allowed on Sundays on Jeremy Street. The vendor is calling for a review of the mandatory rotation that takes effect from 6 p.m. Friday, January 22nd and lasts until Monday, February 1st, 2021.
We are not dependent on the government. We are working for ourselves. Why government taking charge of us now? Because they put the roof there. Tell them take their roof back. We don't want their roof. Tell them take it back. Let's put us back outside instead and take our sun and rain. Because now they want to control us. We are not working for the government. They can control us. We pay more tax than even some of the government. We paying $6 every day, my girl. Check it. Check for the year how much money coming to. You understand what I'm telling you? So tell the government go back with that. And tell city council go back with it too. They're not controlling us.
These sentiments were echoed by another vendor, Fadia Felicier, who views the 10-day rotation as a thorn in the side of vendors already struggling to eke out a living.
All hotels open. They're not closing the hotel. We buy the market looking for $1 for ourselves. We are ourselves problem. And they're not closing the hotel. And why they want us to rotate? Why they're not put in rotation in the hotels? They're in the office there. They don't have no rotation in the office. How is us? If you all want to do something like that, you all making a meeting, send a letter, come and talk to us first. You go do something now for now. And tell us from Friday, we have rotation. That's not good enough. I don't like that.
However, not all vendors harbored reservations about the proposed rotation schedule.
The rotation is the rule of the market, and if that's what they want to do, I have to abide by the rule. If I have goods and I know my goods will spoil, I will cut down on the limits I'm buying. So I do not have no problem with the rotation.
Another vendor speaking anonymously to Newsforce is worried about the storage of perishable goods.
One day in, one day out, yes, but I mean, we don't have a freezing system or a refrigerated system where we can store our grains. Most people, they have to carry home the perishables like parsley and so on home over the weekend, because if they leave it, it would spoil, and so they would lose out. And that's something that sells very quickly. So I don't think it's a good idea to give the market rotation.
The intricate ecosystem of the market not only employs vendors but their helpers and trolley men. One aide, Elijah Graham, disagrees with the rotation schedule.
If you're just going out to make a little living, to sell out for the children, to go to school, to buy something, to have a dollar saved. Right now they want to put them on rotation. When they put them on rotation, all what they buy going to spoil. Who's going to pay them? It is wrong.
In an interview with St. Lucia Times on Thursday, 21st January, President of the St. Lucia Dry Goods and Vendors Association, Peter Rasaiper Isaac, commenting on the measures, said he expects fallout from the rotation system, stating, quote, "A lot of civil disobedience will happen," unquote. Isaac suggested creating space to facilitate social distancing by removing some of the unused stalls at the market. Solange Alfred, HTS Newsforce.
Now you're watching Al Jazeera. We're bringing you live pictures from the Senate floor in Washington, D.C. on Capitol Hill, where the Senate Minority Leader Mitch McConnell has been talking initially about the security preparations that were in place at the Capitol on January the 6th when the riots there took place. He then went on to start talking about the filibuster mechanism, which is a political mechanism by which senators are able to essentially talk out any part of legislation which is placed before them. I believe it requires a minimum of 60 votes to pass. But I want to get more details on this from Heidi Jo Castro, who's been listening to this. Heidi, just bring us up to date, if you can, on the importance of the filibuster mechanism in this and why it matters so much at this time.
Well, Rob, as you know, right now, there is a Democratic majority in the Senate, but by the thinnest of margins. It's 50-50, in fact, the number of senators of both parties, but we have that key tie-breaking vote of Vice President Kamala Harris. And so most legislation going forward needs to be bipartisan because, as you mentioned, there's that filibuster rule that's been in place that would require more than just the simple majority. Now, what some have called the nuclear option is for the leader, Chuck Schumer, to remove that rule, which would give Democrats the ability to essentially force through their agenda on that slimmest of margins if every single Democrat plus the vice president votes for a certain piece of legislation. That is something that Joe Biden appears to be adverse to. He, of course, has just been sworn into office, and he campaigned on unity. He's told voters that he would be able to bring together both parties and finally see some bipartisan action here in Capitol Hill that's been missing throughout all of Trump's years and much of Obama's as well. So there's still much discussion. This rule, this procedure to get rid of the filibuster, if that were to take place, would be significant in that it would give Democrats the ability, again, to pass through their legislation, given the current makeup of Congress, without having to convince any Republicans to join them.
Heidi, I do want to ask you something that is probably more important. The fact that just prior to Mitch McConnell speaking, we heard Chuck Schumer just briefly talking about the fact that Nancy Pelosi is going to bring in the impeachment action on Monday. Now, this, of course, is the impeachment against President Donald Trump.
And that's the closest that we've gotten from anyone as far as the next step timeline, because of course the thing we're waiting on now is for Nancy Pelosi, Speaker of the House, to transmit that article of impeachment. She would not say yesterday when that would happen, and now, as you mentioned, Schumer, the Senate Majority Leader, has just said that transmission will occur Monday. So what happens after that? Well, we would expect that the Senate has until the following day, that's Tuesday, to go back into session and start discussing the shape that this impeachment trial will take. That is squarely within the power of Chuck Schumer, the Senate Majority Leader now of the Democrats, to craft how he wants this trial to happen. We heard from the now Minority Leader, Mitch McConnell, giving out his proposal for how he would like Trump's impeachment trial. He doesn't want the trial to begin until mid-February in order to give the former president's attorneys time to come up with a defense. We're not exactly sure how Chuck Schumer or the remaining Democrats feel about that, though it may actually play to the Democrats' favor, too, given that they want the Senate to be able to finish this confirmation process for Joe Biden's cabinet. So still unclear exactly how this trial will take place, but the most solid piece of information we've got to hang our hats on at this point is that on Monday, the article of impeachment, which charges former President Trump with inciting insurrection, will be marched across the Capitol Rotunda and delivered to the Senate, which is the first step in setting up for that trial that at this point is proposed to begin in mid-February.
Heidi, thanks very much indeed. That's Heidi Jo Castro bringing us up to date from the Capitol.
The Olympic Games were scheduled to be held last year but were delayed because of the coronavirus pandemic. Now a rise in infections has forced the government to impose a state of emergency in Tokyo and other parts of the country. And that's raised questions about whether the Summer Games will be held in 6 months as planned. Newspaper reports that Japan's government has privately concluded the Games will have to be rescheduled have been denied by the Prime Minister.
Regarding the Tokyo Games, it will be a symbol of humanity overcoming the novel coronavirus and the chance to showcase Japan's reconstruction from the devastating northeastern earthquake and tsunami to the world. We will be well prepared on the measures for the infection.
Japan has spent $25 billion preparing for the Tokyo Olympics, most of which is public money. But a recent poll shows 80% of Japanese people don't want the Games to go ahead this summer.
Even if Japan was able to curb the coronavirus, I don't think we can welcome athletes considering the current situation. It should be cancelled. The money we spend on the Games should be used for antivirus measures instead.
80% I want the Olympics to go ahead, but the other 20%, I wonder what would happen to Japan if it was cancelled. We're already going through a lot.
An Olympics has been cancelled only 5 times before, all in wartime. A final decision on whether to hold the Games this year or not is expected in early spring.
I think the date to watch is March 25th. That's when the torch relay begins from northern Japan. 4 months, 10,000 runners crossing the country, arriving in July 23rd in Tokyo. It would seem absurd to start the torch relay and then have no Olympics.
The International Olympic Committee makes 75% of its income from selling broadcast rights of the Olympics. If Tokyo is cancelled, it could lose an estimated $2 to $3 billion of revenue. Victoria Gatenby, Al Jazeera.
Stay abreast with news on St. Martin with SMN News. Visit www.smn-news.com for up-to-date news, scoops, opinions, and hard-hitting facts. SMN News, we tell it like it is. Visit our website www.smn-news.com.
It's the new and improved Sknnewsline Android mobile app. With the Sknnewsline app, you can watch your news reports, the Sknnewsline Newscast, sports, special features, and so much more. You can also send us a WhatsApp or call us directly. Go in the Google Play Store, search SK Newsline and download the app today. The SK Newsline mobile app. News on the go. For the finest in pastries and baked products, your only choice has to be Bryden's Bakery, located on Main Street, New Road, St. Peters. They offer the best in breads, cakes, cheesecakes, cupcakes, cookies, and much more. Visit their cafe and savor breakfast sandwiches, coffee, espresso, and ice cream. Bryden's Bakery also specializes in a variety of healthy breads, cakes, cookies, pies, and pastries for all your special events. Call 667-1505. Opening hours 6 a.m. to 6 p.m. Monday to Saturday and 1 p.m. to 6 p.m. on Sundays for Ice Cream Sundays. Extended opening hours during the Christmas season. Bryden's Bakery, simply the best.
Banners, commercial signs, decal printing, canvas prints, license plates, posters. We at Multigraphics are dedicated to providing quality products and service to our customers. Our team takes pride in the craftsmanship and is passionate about its work. Every job, large or small, is important. Most of our customers come to us through referrals. That's because our number one priority is service. We serve a wide variety of customers, such as restaurants, retail stores, manufacturers, trucking companies, and many more. Our capabilities include design, production, and installation. How can we help? We are located at Bird Rock at the Woods Right compound. Call us at 869-763-1511 or 784-491-7599. Multigraphics.
Auto Plus Car Wash, located on the College Street Gut, Bastyr, St. Kitts. Bring your car to Auto Plus Car Wash to remove water stains, wiper marks. Get your doors, roof panel cleaned, seat floor mats, buffing, headlights, and engine wash. You get quality service at the best price at Auto Plus Car Wash. They really care for your car. Call 765-5140 or visit them on the College Street Gut, Bastyr, St. Kitts. Auto Plus Car Wash, where the service is number one.